Can relationships work after someone cheats? I'm Jay Escobar, escobarj.com. And if you haven't watched the first video that I've done on this topic, then check out the description. I'm going to go ahead and post a link to that description below. We talked about trust. So watch that one first because there's a few things in that video that tie in to this one. Today's video, we're going to be talking about anxiety. So here's the deal. If you stay in a relationship that was damaged by infidelity, you're asking for trouble. You're only going to cause yourself a high amount of anxiety and stress. And when you first find out that your partner was unfaithful, it literally feels like getting punched in the gut 1,000 times. And your heart rate spikes through the roof, and you immediately feel a burst of adrenaline pumping through your veins. You start asking yourself a million and one questions about who, what, where, how often, when, how long, why, etc. And the only real good question out of those that you maybe should consider is why, because that will give you a good indicator of what you did wrong in the relationship if you don't know already. But if you follow the things that I've been teaching you in my previous videos on relationships, you should know already why or how or what caused the infidelity in the first place. Because I talked about this a little bit in my last video. The person who cheated is at fault for cheating, but they're not typically the cause of the cheating. If they were totally happy in the relationship, they typically wouldn't cheat. Now, that being said, cheaters typically have a background of cheating. They grew up in broken homes, typically. I mean, not all of them, but there's a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of different things you can look out for and red flags in the dating process to know if somebody is good for you or not and will put you through something like that. So that's the topic for a different day. But the deal with these questions is, who, what, when, where, why, how often, etc. Asking yourself these types of thought-provoking questions is only going to bring you more stress and anxiety into your life, and that's not what you want. It's better to just walk away without causing yourself more pain by getting the detailed answers to the questions, believe me. Because you're only going to bring yourself more pain and anguish and stress and anxiety if you get the answers to those questions. And the damage has been done already. So there's really no reason to get the answers to those questions and to put yourself through that high anxiety and high amount of stress, because what's done is done. You should have the mindset of, okay, that happened, we're finished. I'm walking away, finding somebody else who values me and values my time and values what I bring to the table. And that's the way you should be looking at it. You should be looking at it as no big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, especially if you've been with a partner for a long time. But that being said, you need to have the mindset of, you know what? I'm a prize. I'm someone worth a lot. And somebody out there will see my value. And it's just a matter of time before that person finds me. That's what your mindset should be, regardless if the person cheats on you or not. And again, you have fault in this too, because again, if it was a perfectly happy relationship, typically partners don't cheat, or typically they're not unfaithful. So because the damage has already been done, just dress your wounds, take time to heal, do what you need to do to get your emotions out, to feel your emotions, to allow yourself to be sad, to allow yourself to go through the mourning process. You don't want to just ignore the feelings. You need to allow yourself to go through that process. But eventually, once you do that, you got to put yourself back out there. Some people that, typically they say that the amount of years you're in a relationship with somebody, it takes at least that many months for you to start feeling a little bit better about being cheated on or ending the relationship. And that's probably an underestimate. I would say it takes really a lot longer than that. If you've been with somebody for years and years, or maybe decades, I would say it takes longer than, because if you've been with someone for 2 decades, it probably takes longer than 20 months for you to get over somebody. I mean, that's a long time. Maybe not. It's kind of hard to say. That being said, as the cliche goes, as the cliche saying goes, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. So you got to put yourself back out there eventually, allow yourself to feel the pain, go through the process of mourning the loss, and then eventually put yourself back out there to know that you are the prize and you have a lot of value. You bring a lot to the table. And have some self-respect for yourself. If your partner doesn't value you enough to be faithful, even during difficult times in a relationship, because somebody who truly values you and truly is committed to you and truly wants to be with you and see you be happy and successful in all categories of life, they're going to stick with you no matter what, through difficult, through hardship. That's what that's what the whole point of relationships are. And again, sometimes relationships are just meant to run their course, and sometimes you're not meant to be with certain people. So because of that, if that happens to you, send them love and move on and find somebody else who does value you, value your time, and value what you offer and what you bring to the table. And the last thing that I want to say on anxiety is that you make your best decisions and live your best life when you're in a peaceful and relaxed state of mind. So commit to being in a peaceful and relaxed state as often as you can. And that is really solely the reason why you shouldn't stay in a relationship that's broken because of infidelity, because you're always going to feel that level of anxiety, that level of stress. You're never going to feel fully open or fully able to commit or fully able to trust that person again. You can work through it. I mean, it can take a very, very long time to get back to the level that you were before the infidelity happens. And that's assuming there's not any more infidelity after. But why not put that time into finding a new partner who wouldn't cheat on you or wouldn't put you in that kind of a situation to where you can fully trust, fully allow yourself to be you, and fully allow yourself to open up to that person. That's what a real relationship is. When you put yourself and stay in a relationship that's toxic like that, and you stay and you allow yourself to be succumb to that fear, that anxiety and stress, again, you're never going to be able to trust that person again. And it's always going to be in the back of your mind. Always. You're never going to forget though that person did that to you. No matter how good things will get, you're always going to have that doubt in the back of your mind. It can be very, very small. I mean, you can patch the relationship and make it better, but you're always going to have that small doubt in the back of your mind. And that's really what breaks relationships, is just any sort of doubt like that. You won't be able to fully trust them again. And like I said before, if there's no trust, then there's no healthy relationship. A healthy relationship is trust. So that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you never miss any time I release a video like this. If you'd like to get my help on this topic, if you're really struggling, or if you've gone through something significant and you'd like to get my help, the quickest way is to book a coaching session on my website, escobarj.com. You can also shoot me an email there. At the very least, help me out, do me a favor, help me get this video out to as many people as possible, because you never know. Maybe you know somebody who is out there who needs this information, who needs to know what to do in a situation like infidelity. Maybe they're on the fence to whether to stay or leave. Maybe this will give them some clarity. And that is my purpose, is to help as many people as I can self-actualize, grow to become the best versions of themselves, and finding relationships that will truly value you, and finding relationships that you truly value them and you can open up to receive and give and serve. That's really the whole point of relationships. So that being said, hope you're always learning, always growing, and always pushing forward. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.